Hello there, second, third, and fourth graders. This is Miss Ricky getting ready to start you guys off on a read aloud. We are going to be reading a book by Judy Blume called Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing, which stars a boy named Peter Hatcher who tells us all about the adventures of living with his 2.5-year-old brother, Fudge. Judy Blume is an author who's written a lot of books for kids. Some of them are meant for kids a little older than you, like middle school kids. A lot of them are written for you. You'll notice on this page that there are actually 5 different books that follow Peter and Fudge. So in this book, Fudge is 2, turns 3. In the next one, he's 4, then he's 5, then he's 6. You get the idea. But there are 5 different books all about Fudge. When you look at this page, something you will notice over here is that this book was written in 1972. Guess what else was made in 1972? Miss Ricky! I was born in 1972. This book and I are the same age. What that means is you will notice as we're reading that some of the things they talk about are a little out of date. In chapter 1, we meet someone whose whole job is to run the elevator in a New York apartment building. We're so used to we get on the elevator, we push the button, we go where we want. We don't need help. But there used to be a job called being an elevator worker that meant that you knew where everything in the building was, and people would get on the elevator and they didn't have to tell you what floor to go to. The elevator person would take you there. So if you were at a department store and you wanted to go to where they keep the music that you can buy, then you would say, like, I want to go get a record, and they would take you to the right floor. Or if you were visiting someone, I'm here to visit Peter Hatcher. The elevator person knew where he lived and took you there. You didn't need to know that. It also means that we will run into a little bit of language I'll have to explain because it's kind of old-fashioned. And you'll notice that, like, when they talk about school, some of the things they talk about are a little bit different. They don't talk about cell phones. They hadn't been invented yet. They don't talk about going on the computer to do their work because nobody was using computers at school yet. That didn't happen until I was a little older than you guys. I believe the first time I saw a school computer for students to use, we had one in the library starting when I was in either 4th or 5th grade. And you had to sign up for time to get onto it. And it was a whole big thing, and you really couldn't do much with it. So you'll notice that they don't talk about, like, the report that they'll work on. They don't do it on the computer. They actually have to get out books and look up the information and write with their hands instead of typing. All right, as we go through the reading today, I'm going to ask you to answer a few questions. You'll see the questions pop up when the answers occur in the book. So have a piece of paper standing by, or if you're good with the computer and you can open up another tab to the quiz, that would be great too. So you could either type the answers and send them to me through a Dojo portfolio post, or you could have your parents send them to me through messages on Dojo, or you can access Google Classroom. If you already have Classroom set up, I will have a room set up that says Miss Ricky's Fudge Group. You can go in there. There will be a quiz. You can take it online. You can send your answers to me through the computer that way. I'm flexible. However you want to get the answers to me is great. So you'll see 5 multiple choice questions. Those will pop up as I read. And then you'll see a long answer at the end. Make some notes or have the quiz open in another tab. And then at the end, go back and answer the long answer question. This will be 1 grade for the grade book this week. So please get this to me by Friday at 4:15. All right, let's read Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing. Chapter 1 is called The Big Winner. I won dribble at Jimmy Fargo's birthday party. All the other guys got to take home goldfish in little plastic bags. I won him because I guessed there were 348 jelly beans in Mrs. Fargo's jar. Really, there were 423, she told us later. Still, my guess was closest. Peter Warren Hatcher is the big winner, Mrs. Fargo announced. At first, I felt bad that I didn't get a goldfish too. Then Jimmy handed me a glass bowl. Inside there was some water and 3 rocks. A tiny green turtle was sleeping on the biggest rock. All the other guys looked at their goldfish. I knew what they were thinking. They wished they could have tiny green turtles too. So this is question 1. Please make a note of your answer or go to the Google quiz and enter your answer after you hear the question. Number 1, what did Peter win? A goldfish, B, a turtle, C, a mirror, or D, $10? I named my turtle Dribble while I was walking home from Jimmy's party. I live at 25 West 68th Street. It's an old apartment building, but it's got one of the best elevators in New York City. There are mirrors all around. You can see yourself from every angle. There's a soft, cushioned bench to sit on if you're too tired to stand. The elevator operator's name is Henry Bevelheimer. He lets us call him Henry because Bevelheimer's very hard to say. Our apartment's on the 12th floor, but I don't have to tell Henry. He already knows. He knows everybody in the building. He's that smart. He even knows I'm 9 and in the 4th grade. I showed him Dribble right away. I won him at a birthday party, I said. Henry smiled. Your mother's going to be surprised. Henry was right. My mother was really surprised. Her mouth opened when I said, just look at what I won at Jimmy Fargo's birthday party. I held up my tiny green turtle. I've already named him. Dribble! Isn't that a great name for a turtle? My mother made a face. I don't like the way he smells, she said. What do you mean? I asked. I put my nose right down close to him. I didn't smell anything but turtle. So Dribble smells like turtle, I thought. Well, he's supposed to. That's what he is. And I'm not going to take care of him either, my mother added. Of course you're not, I told her. He's my turtle, and I'm the one who's going to take care of him. You're going to change his water and clean out his bowl and feed him and all of that, she asked. Yes, I said. And even more, I'm going to see to it that he's happy. Question number 2. What did Mom think of his prize? A, she was excited. B, she thought the turtle looked sad. C, she thought he was stinky. Or D, she wanted her own turtle. Make a note or answer on the Google quiz, and then hit play again. This time my mother made a funny noise like a groan. I went into my bedroom. I put Dribble on top of my dresser. I tried to pet him and tell him he would be happy living with me. But it isn't easy to pet a turtle. They aren't soft and furry, and they don't lick you or anything. Still, I had my very own pet at last. Later, when I sat down at the dinner table, my mother said, I smell turtle, Peter. Go and scrub your hands. Some people might think that my mother is my biggest problem. She doesn't like turtles, and she's always telling me to scrub my hands. That doesn't mean just run them under the water. Scrub means I'm supposed to use soap and rub my hands together. Then I've got to rinse and dry them. I ought to know by now. I've heard it enough. But my mother isn't my biggest problem. Neither is my father. He spends a lot of time watching commercials on TV. That's because he's in the advertising business. These days, his favorite commercial is the one about Juicio. He wrote it himself, and the president of the Juicio company liked it so much, he sent my father a whole crate of Juicio for our family to drink. It tastes like a combination of oranges, pineapples, grapefruits, pears, and bananas. And if you want to know the truth, I'm getting pretty sick of drinking it. But Juicio isn't my biggest problem either. Question 3. What is Peter's dad's job? A, he takes care of turtles. B, he makes and sells juice. C, he writes and makes commercials for TV. Or D, He runs the elevator. My biggest problem is my brother, Farley Drexel Hatcher. He's 2.5 years old. Everybody calls him Fudge. I feel sorry for him if he's going to grow up with a name like Fudge, but I don't say a word. It's none of my business. Fudge is always in my way. He messes up everything he sees, and when he gets mad, he throws himself flat on the floor and he screams. And he kicks. And he bangs his fists. The only time I really like him is when he's sleeping. He sucks 4 fingers on his left hand and makes a slurping noise. When Fudge saw Dribble, he said, "Oh, see?" And I said, "That's my turtle. Get it? Mine. You don't touch him." Fudge said, "No touch." Then he laughed like crazy. Number 4. Who is Farley Drexel? A. Peter's brother. B. A 2.5-year-old kid. C. That's Fudge's real name. Or D. All of the above. Question 5. Make a prediction. What do you think will happen to Dribble in this book? A. He will run away. B. Fudge will do something to him. C. Dad will put Dribble in a commercial. Or D. Mom will give Dribble back to Jimmy Fargo. The last question is number 6. Write 1 or 2 good sentences. Would it be fun for you to have Fudge as a brother?